Hey everyone, it's Jennifer Mardoff here, formerly Jennifer Lapola. I am your admin and founder of I'm Engaged, What Now? My co-admin, Kevin, says hi as well. We are recently back from our honeymoon and we wanted to bring on our awesome travel agent, Lauren Doyle, who helped us book our amazing honeymoon. She did everything from soup to nuts. She helped us find the resorts that we wanted to go to within our budget and do amazing activities while we were there. She is the one and only person that I would personally recommend. I actually just met her through this group. It's not like we've been lifelong friends. We're not related, so no hidden agendas there. But just a really great person to work with. She really knows her stuff. If you are really stumped on what to do for your honeymoon, where to go, I highly recommend that you get in touch with Lauren. She really knows her stuff. She could help you, create that perfect magical place that you want to go to, that honeymoon that you've always dreamed of having. It is a once in a lifetime experience. So I highly recommend that you use a travel agent. There is really no reason why you shouldn't use one. She packaged everything so beautifully for us that it was really a no-brainer. Kevin and I had absolutely nothing that we had to do. We didn't make any phone calls. We didn't have to do any research online. There was no price comparisons. She did all of that legwork for us. So the service is really invaluable that she provides. And there is no upcharge for it, which Lauren will discuss how travel agents get paid, because there's some, I think, misconceptions on, how travel agents are paid, and that there's like this upcharge, or that there's this that we could do it ourselves cheaper. And first of all, your time is money, right? And Lauren just does everything for you, so you don't have to waste any time. You don't have to be pulling your hair out thinking, am I making the right choice, and fretting over whether you should do an all-inclusive or not do an all-inclusive. She kind of answers all your questions, and she's traveled so many different places that she could personally give her recommendations. I know for us, we were debating about a few different resorts in Hawaii, and she said, I think I would probably do this one over that one. It's a little stuffy over here. You want to be in a better location, that type of thing. So she was great at all that, and it was just an invaluable service. So I hope she helps you guys this evening. She's going to be taking your questions live, and she's going to do her thing shortly. I'm going to give her full screen, and she's going to just take right over and tell you all about her invaluable services. And what she can offer you. She has a special giveaway that she's going to do. She just told me a little while ago what it is, and I think you're really going to like it, especially since it's the holiday season. So I'm going to turn it over to Lauren now. If you guys have questions, please, don't hesitate to ask. Lauren's very approachable, and she's more than willing to answer your questions. So get them ready. You could post them in the comments, and if you can't see them, I'll feed them to you. But hopefully you could see them. So I'm going to turn it over to you, and you do your thing. It's Jennifer Mardoff here, formerly Jennifer Lapola.
Hi guys, hi brides and grooms. I am so excited to be joining you live. And Jennifer, I'm not sure if I'll be able to see the comments, so maybe if you can let me know if anyone has questions, I would be happy to answer them live. So, all right, so tonight we're going to talk a little bit about all-inclusives. I've been in the group and I've seen everyone, tons of brides saying, I want an all-inclusive, I want sandals, or they just come out, and I think there's a little bit of confusion on, first of all, what is an all-inclusive? So all-inclusives generally are in the Caribbean or Mexico. That's the biggest concentration of all-inclusives. Unfortunately, we don't have any in the U.S., including Hawaii. I know many brides wish we did, but they're mainly in Mexico and the Caribbean. And they basically mean they're going to include the everything. They're going to include from the minute you step off that airplane to the minute you get back on the airplane, everything is included. So you can leave your wallet at home, not your passport, your wallet, and you're not going to have to pay for anything because you pay for it before you leave. So that definitely is nice when you've been opening up your wallet and paying this vendor and that vendor. So when you get on that honeymoon, you don't even have to think about writing a check or having tips in your wallet or shorts, because you won't need to tip. Many of these resorts don't allow tipping, or just they don't really accept tipping. It's not something you have to do. So an all-inclusive totally takes the worry and stress out of your honeymoon. Now, that said, not all all-inclusives are treated equal. If you Googled right now all-inclusives, you would get all-inclusive resorts. You're going to get hundreds and hundreds pulled up on Google. How do you know which one's right for you? And that's where I come in. I have been to many, many, many all-inclusives in Mexico and the Caribbean. And if I haven't been there, one of my colleagues has recently. And we know the good ones to the not so good ones. And we also know which all-inclusive is going to be best for you. So just because I heard my friend went to this all-inclusive. Well, that might not be the right one for you and your fiance. So we know that there's lots of different types of travelers. We have the couples that are like super active and want to be doing things every day and doing water sports. We also have couples that love to party. They want to booze it up and eat it up, and that's like on their agenda. Or there's just the couples that want to relax and like not do anything and want to be laying on a bed on the beach and they don't want to think about anything. So there's so many different types of all-inclusives, so they can meet the needs of those of what you want, those different types of travelers. And Google's not going to tell you that information. They're not going to know where you guys should go. And that's why it's really important to use a travel agent. I'm open to being your travel agent, and you could private message me or contact me. Go onto my website and contact me, as many brides have in the group. But you could also find a travel agent local. It's really worth it to find someone to help you clear through all the clutter on Google, because it's just like endless. So it's really important using a travel agent with an all-inclusive. We also know when things are going on sale. I mean, you go on sandals.com, they have a sale every day. How do you know when it's a really good sale? So, we're here to kind of guide you through and say, oh yeah, this is a good price. I book this every day. I know that this room doesn't go this cheap, or whatever it is. So we're really there. We're on your side. We don't work for the resorts. We are independent. We are for our clients because we really value them. And it's all about traveling. I mean, I love to travel, and I want people to have a great experience, and I want people to love it too. So, I think you kind of need to think about that Groupon and the third-party person is not going to be there to call and text you and help you through every step of the way. So just a little tidbit there on that. But all-inclusives also offer great value. So whether you're on a tight budget or have an endless budget, all-inclusives really offer great value because you don't have to worry about everything. You're paying for everything up front, from the water sports to this room service to any other activities. The one thing that probably isn't included would be your spa credits or spa. Now, certain resorts, certain promos offer included spas. That's usually like a special, but typically a spa is not included. So that's just a little FYI. Of course, there's certain resorts that offer that a bonus, but not all of them. So just something to think about, but your non-motorized water sports will be included, all of your drinks, and these all-inclusives have about 10, 15 restaurants. I am not joking. So if you're a foodie and you're interested in eating and drinking, you will have endless options. Even if you have food allergies, if you're gluten-free, many of these resorts, and again, that's another reason to use an agent. We know which resorts are really going to follow through with food allergy issues. And we're also another lifeline to the resort, giving them a heads up that our VIP clients are going, and we could definitely give them a heads up. So that's something nice too. Now, all-inclusives have a wide variety of room categories. So you have your lead-in room, and that is your basic room, a bed, bathroom, no view, whatever. And then they go up and up from there to millionaire suites with private pools and private butlers and this and that. So there's a huge range, and that's why it meets a lot of budgets. On average, I would say a honeymoon is around $3,500 to $7,500. Of course, plus and minus, I honestly have not been able to find an all-inclusive that I would recommend for less than $2,500. It's just really tight, and that those prices include your flights. So it's just, I'm sure you could find it, but you got to think about the reputation of these resorts and exactly what you're getting. And that's another thing I think, generally speaking, honeymooners don't understand, where they say, oh, well, I got this great deal, or I got, I saw on Groupon this, or bookit.com. Those are just like travel agents. They're online travel agencies, technically. And they really don't have your best interest in mind. They're a call center, they're a .com company. And, they might be selling you something, but you got to make sure you know exactly what you're buying and what you're getting there. So, oh, Felicia, I see that you're asking $2,500 per person. No, that would be together. That's why I'm saying you really want a good budget. Would be $4,000 to $6,000 is a sweet spot for two total, including your airfare and everything. And again, feel free to private message me, and we could chat a little bit more about budget. But, all-inclusives, there's so many options out there that they really do meet the needs of many brides and grooms out there. So, yeah, it varies with the room categories. And this is a way that you could kind of save a little money. Maybe it's a really nice higher end resort, but you really want to stay there. So maybe you stay in a more modest room. Or you want to live like a king and queen for a week. So you might choose a value resort, and you want to have the highest room category. So it's all about what you guys want, not just the price. Because at the end, 10, 20 years from now, you're not going to remember what you paid for your honeymoon, but you're going to remember the memories you made there. And that's what it's all about. It's just like your wedding. You really want to make sure that you're picking something, a vacation, where you and your fiance are going to start your married life together. It's a celebration. So you really want to make it about you two and finding the right resort for you. So again, as I mentioned, I'm going to go over a little bit because I see we have a few more viewers sitting in here that, using a travel agent to help you figure out what all-inclusive is right for you is huge. We have an inside track. We know how to get a few extra perks, how to make sure your honeymoon amenities are there, ready and waiting. I mean, who doesn't want to check into the resort and you go to your room and you realize that, oh my God, there's a nice bottle of sparkling wine or whatever your favorite drink is waiting for you. Such a nice perk. Or when there might be a letter in your room from me congratulating you, or whatever, whatever you guys like or want to do. Maybe there's this extra spa credit. It's so nice to get that package. I know we talked a little bit about locations where most all-inclusives are in the Caribbean and Mexico, but I really do want to talk a little bit about time of travel. I know a lot of brides are like, when am I going to travel? I know someone just commented that they were saying, is June an okay time to go? So typically the Caribbean is gorgeous all year long. I mean, the weather's great, and we do have that dreaded hurricane season. Now, unfortunately, this year was just god-awful, and I feel so bad. I did have to have a honeymooner canceled due to the hurricane. Thankfully, anyone I booked during hurricane season gets travel insurance, and they were fine. They rebooked their honeymoon. Actually, they're going next week. They rebooked. We got them everything. So I think, a huge wedding season is the fall, September, October, November. So many people get married. So people want to go on their honeymoons right after. I don't say it's just something to think about. I think the weather is still nice. There's a risk there. So I recommend travel insurance, making sure, and we have affordable options, but going covered is the way to go, especially with weather-related issues. Now, not all travel insurance is the same, so you want to make sure you get a cancel for any reason if you're concerned about a hurricane. And again, that's another reason why you need to know what you're purchasing, because travel insurance can be a little tricky. Again, a travel agent knows they're going to sell you the right product for you. So yeah, I think the summer months are a great time to travel. I would absolutely avoid Christmas and spring break. That's college spring break and also like regular high school, middle school spring break, because it's just going to be so crowded. The airports are crazy. And flight prices are inflated. Like, no joke, they always are. There's nothing we could do about it. It's just the fact of it. So keep that in mind, especially if you want to figure out some ways to save a little bit of money. When to book, I definitely think 6 to 9 months is the hot spot, is the sweet spot to book airfare and to book your honeymoon. I've had a few brides in this group contact me about 2019, even 2020. I don't have prices for 2020. We don't even know what resorts will be around and what new ones will be opening. So I think that's a little early. A year out is awesome because you could start saving. Deposits with all-inclusives are low. We have the flexibility of offering as low as $40, $50 deposit for your honeymoon, which I know a few brides in this group have done, and it's awesome, and they pay a little bit as they go. And then final payment would be 45 to 60 days prior. It just depends on the resort and, what relationships and what we have contracted with them. But it's kind of nice to have a low deposit, and then you can save up your money and pay as you go. So that having that flexible option is awesome as well with all-inclusives. So just a little bit for some people that are just tuning in. An all-inclusive is really amazing. It's kind of like, I love to say, leave your wallet at home, not your passport. You still have to bring that, but leave your wallet at home because everything is paid for. That includes your accommodations, your transfers from the airport back to the resort and then back to the airport again. It includes all your non-motorized water sports. Some resorts actually include stand-up paddle boarding, a glass-bottom boat tour. They all vary. Some resorts are getting all into these craft cocktails now. Breweries, they have like their own beer they're brewing. I mean, some really cool stuff that you're like, wait, oh my gosh, this is at an all-inclusive, not cheesy at all. They also, a lot of them all have their own apps. So you just go on your phone, you figure out, where are we going out to dinner tonight? No joke, they have like 10, 15 restaurants. The most recent one I went to, we couldn't even eat at all the places. And my husband and I, we went each night. We were like, we're trying this place, we're trying that place. And then of course we like kept going back to the restaurant we love. So it's really great flexibility. The drinks, if you're more of a drink snob and you like top shelf liquor, you could absolutely get that. Not all the resorts have that. So if there is a specific liquor you want, be sure to ask your travel agent or, delve into what they actually serve. But, they're really coming a long way, even down to the spa treatments. There's spa menus that are endless that match with cocktails, that match with this. So they're really making it like this awesome experience. So I definitely recommend considering an all-inclusive for your honeymoon. You have the value there. Using an agent is going to get you that inside track, inside scoop, what rooms have been renovated, which have not. And obviously your Facebook groups and message boards do that too. But it's also nice to be able to text me and ask things that, you just want in a snap. I think Jenna just asked about something about Aruba. I didn't get to read the whole bit there, but Aruba is unique because it does have some all-inclusives, but most of them are not all-inclusive. So Aruba does have a dining plan, so you could purchase that. Again, a travel agent would, you could contact one, and we would be able to guide you through on what dining plan. It's like a dine-around plan, so that's really nice. Someone's asking, is Aruba more expensive than a place like Mexico? So Mexico is going to be the ultimate value, mainly because the flights are so cheap. So many smaller airports in the US fly direct to Cancun. So that's going to save you money mainly because of your flights. And when you think about your budget for your honeymoon, a huge chunk of it is the flights. It's usually half or more you're spending on the flights. So, you know, you have to think about that. Maria, I know you were asking, how expensive is a travel agent? I don't cost you anything. I get paid on the back end by the hotels and tours. Airlines really don't pay much. That's why you can't just call me for an airline ticket. But I get paid on the back end by the resorts, tour groups, whatever package we put together, I get paid on the back end. You don't pay me. You're just paying for your resort and the services just like you would online, just like you would pay Groupon or Expedia or the resort directly or cruise line directly. Like you want to call Carnival, go ahead. But as someone mentioned in this group earlier, you could use an agent and we know the better cabins and we handle and take all that customer service for you. So that's a little tidbit to know that travel agents don't cost anything. Now, if you are looking at another agent locally, some of them might. I mean, I don't know everyone's, every travel agent out there. They might charge something. Someone's asking about honeymooning in Ireland. Oh my God, I love Ireland. And then over to London for 2 weeks. That sounds like an amazing honeymoon. I went to Ireland about 2 years ago. I absolutely loved it. I think it's so romantic. I went to all these castles because I'm checking them out for weddings and things. Very romantic. I would recommend probably going more in the summer just because the weather could get chilly and rainy. But I didn't have any rain for 2 weeks in Ireland. So, hopefully you'll be fine. But yeah, private message me and we can put together a customized quote. I am a full service travel agency. So we do cruises, all inclusives, customized trips, which would be like you want to go to Ireland for 2 weeks in London and this. I had Christina, a girl from this group, call me today about her trip to Rome, and then we added on Venice. So I'm definitely willing to talk to you on a one-on-one basis. We'll set up a little consultation, whether you just want to do it via text, do another video call, we could do a phone call, whatever you want, but a consultation will give me some more information in order to plan your best honeymoon. So definitely feel free to message me about that and we could put something together. I just want to jump back to a question before I know about Aruba and Mexico. What's the better deal there? So Mexico is going to be the best value because the airlines, it's just cheaper to get airfare there. And there's also so many all-inclusives that they are very competitive price-wise. So I think if you're on a tight budget, I think you need to look at Mexico. If you want Mexico, also certain parts of Mexico, this is another reason why you need a travel agent. Certain parts of Mexico have that electric blue water. So, and some resorts have way better beaches than others. So everyone can Photoshop a photo, but we've seen it with our own eyes and we could tell you which beaches have no seaweed, which ones are worth going to, and things like that. Aruba is a great island. I mean, the beach is white sand, blue waters, but, there's not that many all-inclusive. So if you guys like to explore on your own, absolutely. Aruba can be very commercialized too. I think people don't realize that. So just something, you need to think about. Someone's asking about Turks and Caicos. So Turks and Caicos did get hit with some hurricanes. It is back and running. I've seen some live footage from a bunch of resorts there and it's coming together. Depending on when you want to travel, you could definitely message me and we can chat more about that. But Turks and Caicos is a gorgeous island, very blue waters, very white sand, but there are no all-inclusives there, or very few. there's some meal plans, and the meals there are expensive. I've had clients go and they insisted, no, we just want to go on our own. And they did. We put them at a resort, I forget which one. And it was expensive. I mean, even to get a bottle of wine, it's pricey. So you got to think about that. I would, if you're going to Turks and Caicos, I would recommend maybe getting a condo if you really want to like not worry about paying expensive, like going out to eat, or there are some great like meal plans included in certain resorts. So in my opinion, on a honeymoon fund, useful or efficient. So the honeymoon funds do vary. Some of them charge fees, and I just feel like that's annoying. Like, you want your money, if they're going to give you $50, $100, like, don't you just want that to spend on your honeymoon? So I'm kind of, I don't love them, honestly, because I think they're hidden fees, flat out. But if you feel like you really want money towards your honeymoon, I have had people, like random guests of brides, contact me and to set up tours or to set up a spa credit or set up something special for the bride and groom. So I'm, again, using an agent. I could also help you with that. And I would be, a lot of people do it for the shower. And I'm totally flexible on, talking to your Aunt Clara and figuring out a good honeymoon gift to give you. So someone's asking about the Maldives. My fiance and I have been dreaming about going there for years. Oh my God, I've been dreaming about going there too. I have not been there. One of the places I haven't been, and it is amazing. I have planned 2 trips there. It is expensive. Just the flight there, and then there's they're little atolls. So it's not like you're going to like a big island. You're going to atoll, and there is one resort there, and you have to like get on a boat and then go to another little atoll for dinner. So I definitely recommend an all-inclusive. There are a few all-inclusives that we highly recommend. That's what I've done for clients in the past, but that could get frightfully expensive. If you really want to go, I would definitely say you need $10,000. The flights, the accommodations, I mean, it's jaw-dropping, gorgeous, but you definitely need a budget to get there and to do it right. A backup plan is going, are Sandals resorts any good? So yeah, I know we've had a lot of conversations about Sandals resorts in the group, and they're amazing resorts. I've never sent a client or gone myself and been not happy. So it is a guarantee great experience. That being said, it is one of the pricier all-inclusives. Sandals goes back to like, they were the first resorts to ever do this whole all-inclusive things. And 20 years ago, people were like, oh my God, all-inclusive. And it was only the Sandals was the only option. So that's how Sandals got its name. That's how they got started. And now they are not the only ones in the game. There are plenty of competition to Sandals and plenty of options out there. So I would say Sandals is on the higher end. They're a little more expensive, and I don't know if they necessarily give that much more than another resort wouldn't give. So, for example, I love Couples Resorts. I love Secrets Resorts are amazing. They have really some nice ones opening up. Excellence Resorts is another one of my faves. Majestic Resorts in Punta Cana, I think, is a great budget property if you want to save a little more money. Those are just off the top of my head. I love Moon Palace, LeBlanc. I mean, I could go on and on. Hard Rock Resorts are great. In Mexico, I really love Unico. Oh my God, brand new property, amazing. So there's definitely options out there. I know a lot of people have booked Sandals, and I don't want to discourage you. You will have an amazing time. But if you haven't booked yet and you're not sure if that's pushing your budget, definitely message me and we can chat about that. Back up to the Maldives might be West Coast. Any suggestions? So the Maldives compared to the West Coast, those are like 2 very different things. If you can't get all the way to the Maldives, I think Tahiti might be an option. If you live on the West Coast, Hawaii is another great option. But I've booked a lot of Tahiti, and most of those people are living in California that are going there just because the flight is only 8 hours from LAX. I think to the Maldives, it's like 12 hours. I might be wrong. It might be a little longer, but it's a far flight. So again, I do specialize. I know a lot of people are talking about doing honeymoons in the U.S., and that's totally awesome. I don't really specialize in U.S. honeymoons. I do more international honeymoons, just because the tourism structure and how that works. I just specialize in international honeymoons. Now, I do have a few handful of places that I love in the U.S. because obviously I've traveled there, but I do really specialize in international travel. When does my fiance need to get a passport? So the passport, get your passports. You should have a valid passport. Brides, if you're changing your name, you have 1 year to change your name free of charge. So if you're ready to book your tickets and your honeymoon, give me your legal name now. Don't change your passport until after your honeymoon and after you change your name legally. So that should be kind of later on, because I don't think you're changing your name the day after your wedding. And most people either leave the next few days or the next few weeks. So don't stress yourself out. And I recommend waiting to change your name. But I do think everyone should have a passport and make sure you have that together. So, all right, I think I've answered a lot of questions here. We want to go to somewhere new in the U.S. Vanessa or Vessa just asked an awesome question. What's the big difference between cruises and all-inclusives? That's an awesome question. So all-inclusives are going to include absolutely everything. Your transfers from the airport to the resort, all of your accommodations, all of your drinks, alcoholic drinks, room service. Most all-inclusives also have your honeymoon amenities, might be breakfast in bed, things like that. All-inclusives are going to include all of that. Cruises don't include all of that because cruises do not include alcohol. So you have, and it varies by cruise line, but you're allowed to bring some alcohol, not all of it, and you have to pay for drink packages. So that would be an additional. So you see a cruise for, oh my God, $450 per person. But you have to add on your drink package, you have to add on gratuities, and you have to add on getting to the port. So if you're flying, you need a transfer or Uber from the airport to the cruise terminal. If you're within driving distance, then that saves you that. But just think about that when you're comparing a cruise. That all-inclusives do include more than what a cruise would include. And if you are doing a cruise and you like to drink, get the drink package, prepay your gratuities, get it all taken care of. Another question here, are there any all-inclusive resorts in St. Lucia? Yes, there are plenty and more popping up. I absolutely love St. Lucia. I think it's the Hawaii of the Caribbean. So if you can't get out to Hawaii, as romantic as it is out there, St. Lucia has a lot. It has that volcanic scene. There's lots of activities to do, a lot of exploring to do. St. Lucia is a big island, though. So to fly into the airport is about 90 minutes. There is also a 20-minute helicopter ride if you're down with that. I've had a lot of clients love that option, at least one way. And there's a bunch of all-inclusives. Sandals has a lot of all-inclusives. And then there's also your boutique and jaw-dropping resorts in St. Lucia. Jade Mountain, one of my absolute faves. If you want to get some inspiration, go check out Jade Mountain or go on my Instagram page. I have tons of photos about that. Another place you might not think about all-inclusives are Costa Rica, actually. So there is a good amount of all-inclusives opening up there. And if you don't think you're really an all-inclusive type, but you kind of want to pay for everything before, we do also customize in packages. So we can put together for you an entire package where you feel like, you know what, we only have to pay for a few dinners out and everything else is paid for. So Costa Rica, that generally happens because there's so many tours, so many activities. So we could put together that for you and you could pay for a chunk of it ahead of time. So you're not stressed and you kind of get that worry-free edge in there. So I think I've answered most of the questions. It's a little hard for me to go back, but after the video, I'll definitely log back in, and you can feel free to message me or in the comments, give me your email address and I can reach out to you. I do have a honeymoon planning guide. Many of the brides have requested from me. Tons of information on my Instagram page, which is The Travel Mechanic. That's our company, The Travel Mechanic. And my mom and I own the company, and her name is Jenny Mechanic. It really works for her. But here I am. I head up our honeymoons and destination weddings division, and I would love to help you out. My Instagram is The Travel Mechanic. And I could add a link here, and you can follow me. We have a bunch of fun stuff on there. My website also has a whole honeymoon page, lots of honeymoon inspiration, because I know we all need that, and Pinterest and things like that. You can find me on all social media. So I think we're going to probably wrap up. Jennifer, if you think that's a good idea, unless I missed any questions.
Yeah, no, I just want to reiterate again how wonderful you were to work with. You were an absolute pleasure for Kevin and I. You planned an awesome honeymoon for us that we are not soon to forget. And I have to tell you guys actually just a quick story. Another great thing about having a personal travel agent at your beck and call, which Lauren literally was, answering messages for me at all sorts of hours. On the day that we left for our honeymoon, I didn't set the alarm early enough, and we got stuck in horrific traffic. We do have bad commuter traffic around here, and I just didn't plan enough time, quite frankly, to get us to the airport. And we might have made it, but Kevin, my husband, said, I think you better contact Lauren and see if there's another plane going out of JFK. And sure enough, she picked up like that in 2 seconds and said, don't worry. I got it covered, no problem. And literally before we even parked our car at JFK, the new flight confirmation was in my email box, and there was no stress. I had to do nothing. That was pretty amazing. And she did it all out of, that it was her job. And she said, I got you covered. You're going to get to Hawaii today. And you're going to enjoy your honeymoon. There's no worries. And there literally wasn't. And if I hadn't booked through a travel agent, I probably would have been scrambling, was sitting in traffic, having an anxiety attack, because I was going to be, I was partially having an anxiety attack because I thought, okay, I just ruined our entire honeymoon because we're not going to get there now. And Lauren totally had it covered, and it was amazing. So just for that reason alone, I will always use a travel agent, and I'll probably always use Lauren because she was fabulous. And an absolute pleasure to work with. So thank you again for being part of this group, for taking time and answering everyone's questions, not only on our live feed tonight, but always in the group. You're always so helpful, and we love you. So you could take over again and give your promo, your giveaway, and have a great night.
Okay, thanks. Okay, guys. Hi, brides. One last time. I have a special promo for this group, exclusive for this group. I am giving away $50 Amazon gift cards. Who doesn't love Amazon? I'm an addict, Amazon addict. And you have to book your honeymoon by December 31st, 2017 to get your $50 Amazon gift card. So, woo, we love Amazon. That's for all honeymoons traveling in 2018. I have a few other disclosures about that, but feel free to message me if you have any questions or if you qualify. And I hope to work with you for planning your amazing honeymoon. Feel free again to follow me on Facebook. My business is The Travel Mechanic. You can message me, follow me on Instagram, and I'd love to connect with you soon. Bye.